Have you ever stopped to think about what's protecting you, right now, from the millions of germs all around us? It's this incredible, built-in defense force, your immune system. It's your body's own personal superhero. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
So let's kick things off with a question I bet you've wondered about. Why do you only get something like chicken pox once? I mean, you get it as a kid, you feel awful, and then that's it. You're set for life. What's that about? Well, the answer to that little mystery is the absolute genius of your immune system.
You know, it's funny. The word immunity itself has this really cool backstory. It comes from the Latin word immunis, which means free of burden. But get this, it originally had nothing to do with getting sick. It was a term for Roman senators who were exempt from paying taxes. That idea, being freed from a burden, just happens to be the perfect way to describe what our bodies do.
Okay, so to really get how this superpower works, you need to know that it's not just one thing. It's like a highly organized military with two major branches. Two different divisions, each with a very specific and very important job to do.
And here they are side by side. First, you've got your innate immunity. These are your first responders. They are always on patrol, they react instantly, but they're generalists. They attack anything that looks foreign, and you're born with this system ready to go. Then you have your adaptive immunity. These are the special forces. They're slower to get going, but man, are they precise. They target one specific enemy and, this is the key, they remember that enemy forever. This is the system you build up over your lifetime.
So let's dig into that first line of defense, your innate immunity. This is your body's ever-present security system, the guards on the wall that are ready to sound the alarm at a moment's notice.
And it works in these amazing layers. The first step is just simple physical barriers. Your skin is basically a giant castle wall. But if something breaches it, step 2 is chemical warfare. Things like your stomach acid or special enzymes just obliterate invaders. And if anything gets past that, step 3 is the cellular cleanup crew. These cells called phagocytes, which literally means cell eaters, are like little Pac-Man, just gobbling up any threats they find.
You've seen the system in action a million times. Ever get a paper cut and the area gets all red, a little swollen and warm? That's not the infection. That's your innate system. It's called inflammation, and it's a brilliant strategy to flood the area with blood and those defender cells to take out the bad guys and start repairs. But some enemies are too tough for the first responders. For those, you need to call in the specialists. This is where your adaptive immune system shines. These are your elite memory masters, and their whole game is about learning, targeting, and most importantly, remembering.
So, who are these masterminds? Well, there are two main types of super specialized white blood cells, B cells and T cells. Think of them as the intelligence agents and the elite assassins of your body. They're the ones who figure out exactly who the enemy is and lead the charge.
Now, when your adaptive system bumps into a new germ for the very first time, let's say it's that chickenpox virus, the process is actually pretty slow. It can take days, even weeks, for your B cells and T cells to figure out what they're dealing with, build the right weapons, and launch a full-on attack. The first fight is all about learning the enemy's playbook.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Look at that first bar. That first exposure gives you a response, sure, but it's not huge. But now look at the second bar. Whoa. The second time around, the response is off the charts. It's faster, it's bigger, it's way more powerful. So what changed?
The secret ingredient is immunological memory. After that first slow fight, your adaptive system creates an army of memory cells. And these cells stick around for years, sometimes your whole life. So if that same bad guy ever dares to show its face again, these memory cells unleash a counterattack so fast and so overwhelming that the invader gets wiped out before you even know it's there. And that is why you only get chickenpox once. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, so this is where it gets really amazing. We figured out that we don't actually have to suffer through an illness to get that superpower of memory. We can actually train our immune army ahead of time. We've learned how to hack the system for our own good.
And the #1 training tool we have is the vaccine. A vaccine is basically like a training manual or a flight simulator for your immune system. It gives your body a safe look at the enemy, maybe a weakened version or just a tiny piece of it, so it can learn, build those memory cells, and prepare for the real thing,
all without you ever having to get sick.
And over the years, scientists have gotten incredibly creative with this. You've got live vaccines that use a wimpy, weakened virus. You have killed vaccines where the virus can't do anything. There are even vaccines against toxins, not the bacteria itself. And the newer tech is wild, using just tiny protein pieces or even a bit of genetic code to give your body the instructions it needs to build a defense.
So, when your body builds these defenses itself, either from getting sick or from a vaccine, we call that active immunity. You did the work, so the protection is super long-lasting. But there's another kind, passive immunity. This is when you just borrow the defenses from someone else. The big advantage is that it's instant protection. The catch? It's only temporary because your body didn't learn how to make them on its own.
And honestly, the most common and just incredible example of passive immunity, it's what a mother does for her baby. She passes her own hard-won antibodies directly to her child, first through the placenta and then through breast milk. It's like she's handing the baby a temporary, borrowed shield to keep them safe while their own little immune system is still booting up.
All right, so let's zoom out. We've been talking about you, the individual. But the amazing thing about immunity is that it's not just a personal benefit. When enough of us are protected, it creates this powerful shield that protects everyone.
We call this herd immunity. The idea is simple. If a virus tries to spread through a community where almost everyone is immune, it keeps hitting dead ends. It can't find a foothold. And this collective shield is so important because it protects the most vulnerable people among us, the newborn babies, the elderly, or people whose immune systems are too weak for vaccines.
But for all its power, the immune system is a balancing act. It has to be just right. If your immune response is too weak, that's called immunodeficiency, you're left open to attack. But if it's too strong, it can go haywire, leading to allergies or even attacking your own body, which we call autoimmunity. It's a constant, delicate tightrope walk.
So, we've seen how this ancient, elegant, and incredibly powerful system inside of us works, how it learns and how it remembers. It truly is a superpower. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In our modern world, with all its new challenges and amazing new technologies, what do you think is the next great frontier for our body's ancient defense system?